You can help support and promote the show by purchasing our merchandise at cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At, where you can choose from a variety of different items like hoodies, hats, and bears. Oh my! Put a Packard Pokes At mug in your hands today.
Do you like Packard Pokes At and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic. And joining us tonight from the far, far East Coast is Crystal Says So.
Okay, I'm here. What are your other two wishes?
And joining us from the far West Coast is Connie, Practical Magic 9.
I want a pony, and I want a kitten, and I want to go to Disneyland.
All right. Speaking of Disneyland, if you're noticing this great picture that's behind me here, it's not exactly my castle, I only wish, but hell, the heating bills would be crazy. But this particular castle picture background here was created by Connie's daughter's boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, his name is what again?
Christopher.
Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah.
And
Christopher.
And yes, he made the picture from last week as well. So thank you for
the
that.
poking pumpkin.
Yes,
yeah.
The poking pumpkin. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to mention it last week and I kind of forgot. So I apologize for that. So alrighty, well, yeah, we do have some crackling up on Crystal. I have no idea why, but
I'm crackling.
Yes.
Well, shit.
She's on fire.
She's on fire. She's on fire. So she's so hot she's cracking.
She's a little early for Halloween.
What can I say?
Yes. All right, well, we have some good stories for tonight, so let's get on to our first topic for this evening.
Building a better future, science and technology.
We discussed last week when they made the iPhone, the new OS 8, that it was able to keep out people who didn't want to be in there, and the FBI director was saying, if you're doing this, then you're allowing pedophiles and sexual predators to hide data from the FBI. And we have a nice little follow-up on this. The FBI director, James Carney, believed because his agency has a right to see in your phone's encrypted data. Yeah, he has a right. Right. Doesn't mean he's going to get his way. Members of Congress from both major parties, including the House of Representatives, as well as Senator Ron Wyden, are saying that there's a 0 chance that they're going to pass a bill requiring that the device encryption includes a backdoor access for federal investigators. They argue that the law enforcement has pretty much blown whatever chance it has for any public support because of mostly of what the NSA has done to, try to usurp our rights and get our secret files, and they still haven't sent me a backup of my hard drive. I'm really pissed about that. But because they know that if they can get access to it by any means, even with a front door or back door, that if some unscrupulous person out there is able to recreate this hole and get in there, then they too will have a problem keeping those other people out. So thank you, Apple, for at least giving us, the users, peace of mind that the FBI, CIA, NCS, or NSA, whatever. But the only thing is they're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. They're going to have to listen in on your phone call at the switchboard or the other means of semi-private communications that they already have access to. Crystal, your thoughts?
Now you got me thinking of Lily Tomlin sitting there going,
Yes.
ringy dingy.
We don't have to care. We're the phone company.
Oh, yeah, Crystal. One ringy dingy.
I love her. Yeah, the way this story reads, it's almost still like they're still going to do what the hell they want to do anyway. They still can intercept your phone calls, and anything that is kind of unprotected or very loosely protected, they're still going to get a hold of anyway. But at least the House and the Congress are so far saying no to them.
Right.
And I guess for that, I'm a little bit proud of that, because I'm kind of surprised in today's world that they don't give them a little bit more freedom legally than they do. But hopefully this does give us a little bit of peace of mind. And I'm probably crackling because the NSA is listening to my calls because they're so hot. So, y'all just bear with me. And if there's anything you don't want to know, keep it on the down low.
Kind of your thoughts.
I was really encouraged again that I know it's an election year, but Congress across both party lines is telling the FBI, "Oh hell no,"
Finger
and I was
snap.
looking at what
I said finger snap.
Oh,
3 snaps up. Speaking of things that evidently the NSA is just there's been like no oversight with the NSA, which obviously is what Snowden was about. Evidently, the NSA collected more data than they were even allowed to, and Snowden said that, obviously nude selfies come across their desk, and instead of saying, well, this is not important, and routinely just dumping them, no, they pass them around. They would pass them around. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not the FBI's right to look at our stuff. Last I checked, the FBI agents as American citizens have rights. But I don't think that the branches of government, have rights, so to speak. I mean, they have responsibilities. And so, yeah, no, you do it the old-fashioned way.
Right.
Now I know where all my self-nudies went to.
Gonna say.
Damn it.
Chris? Well, look at it this way, Crystal. If they're looking at your nudies, they can't be, banging down on innocent people's doors. So you're doing us a favor.
I'm taking one for the team.
Right. We had a tweet from Dawkins. He says, you have to open your back door for examination. Hashtag PPAP.
Yeah. No means no.
I did find that a rather odd wording. That was kind of funny.
It is funny that they chose that exact word for that, particular activity.
Yeah, it is. But, Connie made a really good point about this being an election year, too.
Yes.
And, people are already really angry. This is still a hot-button topic. So,
yes.
That was a good point, Connie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any last thoughts on this?
No more nudies for you, NSA.
Sure, it didn't happen.
Right. All right, let's get on to our next topic for this evening. And tonight we have Shh. It's a secret. We go to one of my favorite apps is Whisper, and we're going to expose these little secrets to the world just as much as they are. And we're going to make fun of them. Isn't that fun? All right, let's get to our first Whisper tonight. And it says, I would break my being a vegetarian in 2 seconds for the chance to try a Krusty Krab burger. Connie, what would you say to
You
that?
do realize this is a cartoon, right?
And
a Krusty Krab!
And by the way, it's a Krabby Patty. Even I know that.
There you go.
Krabby Patty.
Okay. Crystal, today I have been sober for 100 days. Not like in a row or anything, just in total.
Then you're doing it right. That was so wrong, but it was right.
Everything in moderation, even moderation.
Right.
Yeah.
That was actually a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I can't read tonight. My boyfriend gave me the flu. then went away with the boys for the weekend, leaving me sick and alone. I'm letting the cat sleep on his pillow. He's allergic to cats. Well, then don't get undressed anymore because he's apparently allergic to that too.
At least it's not Ebola. Come on.
Right. Or grab that cat and just, next time he goes down there, he's going to wonder why he got the rash.
Wrong.
I am so wrong. I purposely wasted 10 extra minutes at my locker just so I could hear my crush's voice from across the hall. I'm pathetic.
It's really pathetic that they were inside the locker at the time.
Let me out! Let me out!
I was talking to you.
Stalker.
I'm in here because I love the smell of his jockstrap and his socks.
My daughter's sitting here going, no, no,
Alex.
Crystal, I feel old because I'd rather stay at home and watch movies on Halloween than go out and get shit-faced with my friends.
Oh, God, you need a life. That's all I've got to say about that.
Okay.
Well, let us know that's a good thing.
Right.
Yes.
I had my boyfriend put my tampons in his bag, and he forgot to zip it up. So one decided to fall out in the middle of the cafeteria. He has never been so embarrassed, and I can't stop laughing.
What?
He is an honorable man. If he's going to carry your tampons and you're making fun of him, don't expect him to be your boyfriend for much longer.
Your boyfriend has a bag?
Apparently. Well, book bags and things like that. Either that or
man
purse. He can bring you to pretend they're like parachutes. Bing, bing, bing.
No, you just look at it and say, damn kids.
Damn kids, what the hell are they doing in there? Damn that little brother of mine. If he didn't have a little brother, who knows,
Oh, we're hitting some winners tonight.
Yes, we are. Okay, one more time. Connie, I used to love showing skin until I realized how much better I felt as a person being more conservative. God, really?
These are so boring.
That's what's really boring.
That or it's just all the people who were shrieking in horror when you came walking down the street. I don't know.
Ah!
Okay, Julia Roberts, whatever.
Okay, Crystal, I'm ashamed to say I really bummed that they canceled Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Ah! That is the ugliest face I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
I share in your deep grief and sorrow at that cancellation.
I just off topic, I heard that the reason why is because someone was dating a child molester.
It's the mother.
Yeah, the mother, yeah.
He just got out of prison
Oh, yeah.
for molesting an 8-year-old.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh.
That's a good life choice.
And
You've
she
got a
has
TV
moved
show.
him in with
Yeah, you
all
got,
those kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a
So-
TV. You're on a TV show, and you got kids on there, and then let's date a child molester. Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant. I tell people I have a boyfriend because I'm ashamed to admit that the guy I'm in love with only sees me as a booty call. Well, obviously you're seeing him as a booty call too because you keep letting him booty call you. Oh, well, you'd say, put a ring on it, or I'm gonna milk the cow for free. I don't know. I don't understand the way they call milking the cow for free. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh my God! Do we have to get 6101 Packard Sonic? That was
God.
Well, that was shh, it's a secret. So
and that was probably the most bizarre version of Shit's a Secret.
yes. Every month it's something different.
Right up there.
That's
yeah, some of the things usually aren't real fun.
Right. So, if you have a word or something you want us to search on Whisper for the next time we do this, go to packardpokesat.wordpress.com and type in shh, it's a secret on the comment section there, and tell us what words you want to search for, or go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Packard Pokes At and type in some words that you want us to search for, and we will find the funniest one, and we will use it the next time for our search instead of just picking these at random for the most popular. Okay, let's see here. I'm in the wrong window. That's the problem here. Okay.
Quit peeping in the window.
Speaking of the wrong window, we want you to be in the right window when you go and check out Patreon. That's patreon.com/Packard Pokes At, when you can donate as little as $1 every month or as much as you like, and that would help keep the lights on around here and make, it easier for me to keep the lights burning, because I'm getting tired trying to pump the motor under my desk. That's why I'm so motivated up here. I'm powering this thing by foot pedal, people.
So that's what you're doing. Oh, okay.
It's a bicycle. So I'm trying to lose weight, but damn, I'm gonna be nothing but skin and bone. So please help me donate $1 to help keep the lights on around here. But in the meantime, if you want to get in contact with us, we're going to give you all that information right now.
You should contact us by email at ppapodcast or packardpokesat@gmail.com, and follow the show on Twitter as @PackardPokesAt, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/PackardPokesAt, or just type Packard Pokes At into the Facebook search bar. Call our Google Voice at 662-709-PPAP or 662-709-7727, and leave a short message, and we will play it on the show. Join in the show live Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time at vaughnlive.tv/PackardPokesAt. Download and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Mixler Radio, and watch the show on YouTube. Visit our show page at packardpokesat.wordpress.com for links to the stories, and purchase merchandise from cafepress.com/PackardPokesAt to support the show. For everyone that rates us, you are awesome sauce.
All right, and let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
And what's keeping the universe together right now? It is Jesus Christ. He upholds the universe by the word of his power.
Insane in the membrane. Crazy insane, got no brain. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
We've got a video for you tonight, and it is of somebody who is so old that when it came to Moses, he knew him personally. We're talking about Pat Robertson. So let's give little Patty here a play and see what he has to say for tonight.
There's one thing to want to persuade somebody to believe like you do. That's what Christianity is about, to bring the gospel message, say this is good news, and we'd like you to accept it. That's one thing. There's something else, to take the arm of the government to force somebody to do something that is contrary to their religion. And that's what these homosexuals are trying to do. They're trying to force people who are Christians to marry them or else face jail, to make cakes honoring them or else go to jail, and give their servants over and divulge their innermost thoughts or go to jail. Now, that's the kind of thing we're dealing with. These people are terrorists, they're radicals, and they're extremists. No Christian in his right mind would ever try to enforce somebody against their belief or else suffer jail. Now, they did that during the Inquisition. It was horrible. It was a black mark on our history. But it isn't being done now. There's no Christian group I know of anywhere in the world that would force somebody to do something contrary to their deep-held religious beliefs or else face criminal penalties.
Right.
But that's what the homosexuals are trying to do here in America, and I think it's time pastors stand up and fight this monstrous thing. I mean, if the gays want to go out and do their gay sex, that's one thing, but if they want to force you to accept
Go into
it
your
and,
gay sex.
and solemnify it by marriage, then that's a different matter, and it's an infringement on people's religious beliefs. And what's being done in Houston is the woman they elected is a homosexual. She's a lesbian, and that's her. She's trying to force pastors to conform to her beliefs. It's wrong.
Okay, this is a little-known story. I found out, I had to do some digging on this. He's talking about something that happened down in Texas. And this is based on a lawsuit that the Christians down there brought against the city over a law called the HERO Act. Basically, what it says is your business cannot discriminate because based on sexual orientation of your customers or whoever. You know, if it's a gay couple and they say, hey, I want a cake from you, and you say, I'm not going to do it because of my religious liberties or because of my religious or my faith, you have to do it regardless of that. They tried to get like 5,000 signatures, and they failed at it, and because some of them were duplicates or they were forgeries, outright forgeries. So they lost their case. And so they're saying because this woman is a lesbian, she is infringing on these religious people's rights. No, you guys are liars, for one, because you forged these signatures, and they could tell that they were, improperly made. So there's no impropriety going on here. And for him saying, it's no Christians anywhere today are forcing things on people, really? That's why all those abortion clinics are being shut down because, they're just in bad shape? No, that's because you're forcing your religion into our politics. So that's another lie that this fucktard is doing. Crystal, your thoughts?
Fear-mongering is a terrible thing to do. And, whenever stuff like this is going around, this is some serious stuff. When he uses the word these homosexuals, these stuff, that just like pisses me off right to begin with. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, let's just get it back. Pat Robertson pisses me off to begin with.
Right.
But when he uses that word, the make 'em make cakes thing was just hilarious. And now we have to tell the story because when we were discussing this Wednesday, if you didn't listen to the show that we recorded, immediately whenever we were reading this thing and it says they're forcing her to make cakes, and we were both all three thinking like dick cakes,
yeah, dick cakes. We're gonna send Robertson a dick cake.
That's what came to mind. But no, it's not an infringement of religious beliefs. It's an infringement of human rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the deal that he needs to be talking about. There was a very, very funny comment that was in the thread. I think I like reading them better than anything. And this guy named Miles Weaver had said, terrorists are always trying to get people to bake cakes for them, the bastards. I thought that was so cute. But to compare them to terrorists, radicals, and extremists, he's just batshit crazy as hell. He needs to go off with Bachman and I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely needs to go off with Bachman. He is so
much crazier we can get him.
Yeah, he is fucking batshit fucking crazy.
If they want to go out and do their gay sex thing.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't understand. It's like they can go do their gay sex, but marriage is an infringement on our rights. How? How is it an infringement on your rights? The fact that what are they going to do? It's like gay people get married now. That does not affect your marriage. You can still get married to the person you love. Just because gay people can get married doesn't mean you have to marry a gay person. It doesn't work that way. I don't understand what these people are going through their minds. They say, well, I have a book, and I have a middle finger. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, like, in the truest sense of the word, if the churches are not paying taxes and they're public servants, government in a way, and I don't see how they can refuse. I mean, I really don't. I think the human rights aspect of it should not infringe, should trump what they're calling infringement of their religious beliefs.
Right, exactly. It's not an infringement on their beliefs. It's just I don't understand why they think it is. It's just so stupid. Connie, your thoughts?
Well, as always, Pat Robertson has a disconnect with reality and uses inflammatory language. As far as him calling gays terrorists, and he's trying to let Christianity off the hook, I don't see how he can not understand and not see that threats of eternal punishment in hell is not intimidation.
Right.
It's ridiculous. But what I keep coming back to with Christians who want to, do what Jesus said, right? Mm-hmm. In Luke chapter 6, actually it's kind of long. I don't want to read the whole thing, but verses 27 through 37, it's just after the Beatitudes, and it says that love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks of you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do unto you. And what credit is it to you if you only love those who love you? Mm-hmm. Jesus himself taught that they should not be telling these gays, they come to them and want a cake made or they want to be married. They should not be telling them that we won't do that. They should be loving and kind to them. That's exactly what the gospel is, at least at this point. And so I'm like, you really want to ignore all of this?
Right.
And I don't see the gays as being, they're not about trying to cripple or throw people in jail. They just want a service. And if somebody opens up a business and they are providing a service and they're getting paid for it,
right.
Because pastors do get paid for wedding services.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah,
We had a couple comments from the chat room. I'm sorry. Torvian said, I wasn't born with enough middle fingers. He's quoting Marilyn Manson on that.
Excellent.
And Doc and Dog says, give your shirt. It doesn't say be a shirt lifter. So. Whee! So.
How'd you know I was doing that?
What is the prerequisite for all the co-hosts to be naked, so?
Honey, I have to say, as a Christian, that's exactly what I would think that I would hope that I followed.
Yes. Oh, I think you do, hon.
I think you do, too.
I know a lot of people who are like you, and they do, and I'm all for that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, he's just a big fat idiot. So, anyone have any last words on wretched Robertson?
Verse 37, do not judge, and you will not be judged.
Thank you. There we go.
Amen. Tell him, Connie.
Right. All right.
It's scarier than an atheist who knows her scriptures.
Right. For all you Christians out there who don't think that we read that atheists read the Bible, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
We know it pretty damn well. For the most part. Not all, but most of us do. Many of us do. Many. Well, I'll say many.
I'd say most.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're good.
Yes. All right, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
And for tonight's Did You Know They're an Atheist, we're going to be covering Sylvester McCoy. He was the 7th Doctor on Doctor Who. He was born in Dunoon, Scotland. He spent much of his childhood in Dublin, Ireland. Before becoming an actor, as Percy Smith, he trained as a priest, sold insurance, and acted as a bodyguard for the Rolling Stones. That's an interesting career right there. He became a 7th Doctor after taking over the lead role in Doctor Who in 1987 from Colin Baker. And just between you, me, and everybody that's listening, I didn't like Colin. I thought he played a good part for being a crazy man. I mean, just saying. I think whoever wrote his scripts should have been fired after the first one. Just saying, because they made him look like he was totally insane. But anyway, there's a quote. He says, "In the seminary, I've been saved from the injustices of the world. I didn't know anything about real life. I started to question God about this. Why is it that the poorest suffer the most? My mother had gone mad and died in a lunatic asylum, and she was the loveliest, gentlest woman. She hadn't done any harm, if that's not injustice." He continued, "These injustices made me question God. Eventually I thought, I don't really want to meet this man, this person, this God. I realized that a lot of lies have been told to me. I'd been brainwashed. I've been battling with myself. I was having terrible problems. I went to church in Muswell Hill to do a confession. After church, I went to the Odin Theater. I went to see a John Wayne film. It was one of those where the cowboys have a comedy fight, and they all hit each other. And it was during that comedy fight that a flash went through my head. And suddenly I thought, it's simple. God doesn't exist. I came out of that film knowing that there was no God, and it was like a huge weight had been lifted from my shoulders. That's from the Doctor Who magazine, interviews with Sylvester McCoy.
It was concurrent when Matt Smith took over being the Doctor, because that's what the main interview... August 2010.
Yes, August 2010, right.
There you go.
From the Doctor Who magazine. So that's where the quote comes from. So there'll be a link at packardpokes.wordpress.com for the entire interview if you would like to read it. Crystal, your thoughts?
Well, I didn't know a whole lot about this fella because, God, don't throw eggs, but I've never watched Doctor Who ever, and most of y'all know that. But I found out looking into some of this other stuff that, his dad died in the Second World War a couple of months before he was even born. So he really did experience a lot of tragic things in his lifetime early on. I think the most funny thing that I found with him being in the seminary and joining there at the age of 11.
Mm-hmm.
11 years old,
Yeah.
and already thinking that. But they said that school was real big on getting a livelihood and a career, and they were exposed to many things. So on a dare, he decides to do the ministry. So he does that, and then I found the best quote ever. Has nothing to do with atheism at all, but he said, "I had a great time, although I did get housemaid's needs from praying. But then I fell in love with an 18-year-old French nun who used to collect the laundry and decided that rather than wear a skirt, I'd chase it instead."
That was part of the interview, yes. That was quite funny, actually.
I love that quote. And then I recognized him from that damn Hobbit movie after Connie said that. I was
Rabagast the Brown, yeah.
Yes, Rabagast. I was like,
With
yeah.
the
So
rabbits
I
on the little
recognized him.
cart that he rides around in.
Right, yeah. That was him,
He
yeah.
does. I was impressed because he still is very much involved in theater, and not only just the movies, but he still does a lot of theater and a lot of live action. So, impressed with his resume. He's got quite a list of things he does here.
Right.
So, cool dude.
Dawkins sent a tweet. He says, "Exterminate Pat Robertson. Exterminate Pat Robertson."
Exterminate. Exterminate.
I can't read who it was that said just before. He says, "I was touched by Cybermen." I think that was Joe. I'm not sure who that was.
Oh,
That's sounded like
goodness.
time.
Just don't blink, yeah.
Right, just don't blink. All right, Connie, your thoughts.
It was a lot of fun reading about him. I am actually more familiar with Rabagast the Brown than I am the Seventh Doctor. I've been trying to watch the older episodes, and so I've seen a couple with him. This guy seems like he would be so much fun to sit down and talk with. He's just extremely fast wit and kind of not manic, but just, I don't know, just really intelligent. And I love, though, he has a very positive attitude about life. And he said, I suppose I should be miserable. I look back and I see all this other stuff has gone on, but I can't be depressed. He says, every morning I wake up and I'm just really happy to be around. And the other thing I found, again, in this interview, it talked about something that he had done in the 70s. It was the Ken Campbell Road Show, which was, I guess, something they ran around. They did basically like a Monty Python Saturday Night Live. They did skits and they did songs, and it was hilarious. And he kind of was a manic little guy running around. They had the funniest songs. It was a lot of fun to watch. So
There was a video that he was involved with a couple of the other ex-Time Lords. They were like showing what they were like in real life, and they're like they're trying to infiltrate the Doctor Who movie or whatever they were making or whatever. And it was just fucking hilarious. They're like they had all these little misadventures trying to break in, and then they almost get caught. And it's like, hey, it's you guys. We've been trying to get a hold of you. Because because no one was getting back to their agents weren't getting back to them or nothing, so they thought they were being cast out. It's like, oh yeah, we don't want to do anything with you, because you're like whatever. You're like yesterday's news. We don't want anything to do with you.
Oh, he had the unfortunate tragedy. He kind of was blamed for the death of Doctor Who, but it wasn't him. It was the mishandling of the show in general. And
I blame Colin.
Yeah. Well, I think the same director. I think it's the same director-writer also basically was really sabotaging the show.
Mm-hmm.
If you read the article again, it kind of goes into that. But I don't know. I like it. I loved, and I guess that his doctor is the one with the question mark, and he hated the sweater. He hated the bracers, as he called them, because we call them suspenders here. But the idea of the question mark on the handle of the umbrella was his.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I thought that was interesting. That was always a very witty way, a very more subtle way of saying, who is this person?
Right.
So
I kind of like that umbrella, actually. That'd be
Yeah,
really
me
cool.
too.
It's kind of cool. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Did you guys happen to know that he was the Doctor Who? He was the longest-serving Doctor Who.
I
Did
thought
you
it
see
was.
that?
I thought it was Tom Baker.
I'm gonna say Tom Baker was 5+ years.
Yeah.
And he was the only actor to have appeared both in the Doctor Who 1963 and 1996.
That's possible. I have to think about it, actually.
I'll have to tell you where my resources are. I did not write it down, but
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to know that myself.
they said that, I mean, like, there was controversy about it, but technically he was the one who he was the longest serving Doctor Who, technically. That was the quote.
Technically. Okay, speaking. No, that's a different story.
But he was the only one that appeared in both the 63 and the 96 version.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the later one was later on there. Yeah, the 96. So that was before they brought in the 8th Doctor, who was for that one TV movie. So that's probably the one you're probably thinking about, right there.
Actually, I think they did.
Oh yeah, now I know what you mean.
It was for that 8th one.
Now I know what you mean by technically. Okay,
yes,
because they had him coming in as the 7th Doctor for that TV movie, the one with it was the one where they were trying to get the timepiece out of the cesium clock or whatever, the new atomic clock or whatever. And then
Paul McGann.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the 8th Doctor. Yeah. And it's because there's always a regeneration. So he was there. He said he kind of wished that they could have just done the story, and maybe come back and shown in a later episode, how the regeneration happened. But yes,
right. Yeah, that was
Paul McGann.
Yeah, that's why they said he was technically the longest, because there was that time period there. But in reality, he wasn't. Tom Baker was actually the longest running Doctor in one series. But but anyway, geeking out here. Geeking out here. Anyway, we got to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for coming. We'll be back next week with our costumes. It's Halloween after all. So if you're done picking and trick-earing and treatering and come down and watch us and our costumes. And we will see you next week for our longer show. And if you would like to call, the number is 857-216-3200. Use PIN number 35368. Or go to uberconference.com/Packard Pokes At. And then you can get in on the show as well. And we'll get your thoughts on the topic we're talking about. We'll see you next week. This has been Packard Pokes At. We just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.